something incredible has just been uncovered. Biblical prophecy expert Robert Breaker claims to have found groundbreaking insights in the book of Revelation that point to 2025 as the pivotal year when all the pieces fall into place. His discovery has left many in awe, and it's hard to imagine anyone hearing this without being moved to consider the reality of God and the Bible. Could Revelation 12 serve as a roadmap that pinpoints the start of the end times? Are there hidden signs within the chapter that foretell an impending disaster? And is there still a way to alter the course of events? Will 2025 mark a new beginning or the end of the world? This exploration will challenge your perceptions, so stay with us until the end to learn all the details. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to help spread this message far and wide. Robert Breaker's interpretation of Revelation 12 has sparked intense debate, especially among Christian communities. According to Breaker, this chapter is a key part of God's prophetic timeline for Israel and the end times, not merely a historical or symbolic passage, but an ongoing, active prophecy with implications for our present and future. Breaker emphasizes that celestial events often serve as divine signals, marking significant moments in God's plan. Constellations and stars, he argues, are more than just natural phenomena. They function as road signs from God, guiding us toward the next phase of His divine plan for humanity and the world. When you encounter not just a few coincidences, but dozens, 50 or 60, it's impossible to dismiss the hand of God at work, says Breaker, expressing awe at the profound connections he has uncovered. Chapter 12 of the book of Revelation begins with an extraordinary celestial vision. A great sign appeared in heaven. A woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and a crown of 12 stars on her head. She was pregnant and cried out in pain as she was about to give birth. According to Breaker, this vision corresponds to a remarkable astronomical event that occurred on September 23, 2017. On that day, the constellation Virgo, often referred to as the Virgin, aligned with the sun shining upon her, the moon positioned at her feet, and a crown of 12 stars formed by the 9 stars of the Leo constellation, along with 3 planets. Even more striking, the planet Jupiter, often called the King Planet, occupied the area corresponding to the Virgin's womb for approximately 9 months, symbolizing a celestial pregnancy and birth. Breaker argues that this alignment directly mirrors the vision described in Revelation 12 and affirms that the stars are intimately connected to this prophecy. Breaker's interpretation doesn't stop at celestial signs. He also links Revelation's messages to contemporary events. For instance, he highlights chapters 2 and 3 of the book, which describes 7 churches from John's time, all located in present-day Turkey. Recently, Turkey experienced devastating earthquakes. Could these events signal something larger at play? Breaker also connects this interpretation to ongoing global turmoil, suggesting that these signs are warnings about what's to come. If Revelation 12 aligns with past celestial phenomena, then its latter portions could serve as a blueprint for events yet to unfold, events that may culminate in 2025. Breaker's message is clear: the celestial signs, historical connections, and current global challenges all point toward an urgent need for spiritual preparation. Whether or not you believe in biblical prophecy, his findings prompt reflection on the larger patterns and purposes at work in the world. As we approach 2025, Breaker urges believers and skeptics alike to take these signs seriously, search the scriptures, and consider their spiritual standing. After all, if the pieces are indeed falling into place, time may be running out. The book of Revelation is often considered one of the most difficult parts of the Bible to understand. Some pastors even avoid discussing it, finding its symbolism and imagery confusing. For example, the concept of a woman giving birth in heaven is frequently interpreted allegorically. However, biblical teacher Robert Breaker insists on a more literal approach. He argues that Revelation should be taken at face value and that its references to celestial signs should be seen as real, observable phenomena. A rare celestial alignment. Breaker highlights a striking astronomical fact. The cosmic alignment described in Revelation 12 is estimated by astronomers to occur only once every 7,000 years. This alignment, which took place on September 23, 2017, included the constellation Virgo, symbolizing the Virgin, with the sun clothing her, the moon at her feet, and a crown of 12 stars formed by the Leo constellation and 3 planets. Jupiter, often called the king planet, remained in Virgo's womb for 9 months, symbolizing a celestial pregnancy and birth. Breaker asks whether this rare occurrence is merely a coincidence or if it signifies God communicating directly with humanity. He emphasizes that these signs are particularly meaningful for Israel, citing 1 Corinthians 1 verse 22. Jews demand signs, and Greeks look for wisdom. A prophetic fulfillment? Adding to the intrigue, just a few months after this celestial event, on December 6, 2017, then-President Donald Trump formally recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. Breaker sees this as potentially connected to the Revelation 12 sign and a fulfillment of divine prophecy. He references an ancient Jewish prophecy by Rabbi Judah ben Samuel, who lived between 1140 and 1217. The rabbi predicted that the Messianic end times would begin in 2017, precisely 10 jubilees, or 50-year intervals, after the Ottoman Turks captured Jerusalem in 1517. Trump's declaration and the celestial alignment appear to align perfectly with this prophecy, suggesting a significant shift in God's plan for Israel. The stars as messengers. Breaker emphasizes that the Bible portrays the stars as divine messengers. He references Psalms, which describe the heavens as declaring the glory of God and their words reaching all corners of the earth. He interprets the constellations and celestial phenomena as God's way of communicating with humanity, particularly with his chosen people, the Jews. For instance, Breaker draws a parallel between the sun's journey across the sky and a bridegroom emerging from his chamber, symbolizing Jesus as the morning star. This imagery ties into the prophecy of Jesus' second coming, which Breaker predicts will coincide with intense heat and the destruction of enemies at Armageddon. Blood moon tetrads and Israel. Breaker also discusses the significance of blood moon tetrads, rare events consisting of 4 total lunar eclipses aligning with Jewish feast days. Historically, these tetrads have coincided with pivotal moments in Israel's history. 1493, 1494, the expulsion of Jews from Spain. 1949, 1950, Israel's declaration of independence. 1967, 1968, Jerusalem's recapture during the Six-Day War. The most recent tetrad occurred between 2014 and 2015. Breaker interprets these events as signs that God's prophetic plan for Israel is nearing completion. A divine message. Breaker urges believers to consider the timing and significance of these celestial and historical events. He challenges skeptics to reflect on whether such precise alignments could truly be coincidental. If the stars are indeed conveying a divine message, what could it mean for humanity and Israel? As these signs continue to unfold, Breaker's interpretation of Revelation serves as both a warning and a call to spiritual readiness. He reminds us that God's timeline is not random but intentional, and the heavens may be proclaiming that significant changes are on the horizon. Robert Breaker discusses a remarkable celestial event described in Revelation 12:1-2, focusing on its occurrence on September 23, 2017. He explains that this event, referred to in the Bible as a great wonder, is particularly significant for the Jewish people. Breaker argues that such celestial signs are not merely fascinating displays but divine warnings, like angelic sirens, alerting humanity to the imminence of major prophetic events. Signs of the end times. Breaker suggests that the celestial sign of 2017 might indicate the approach of pivotal events in biblical prophecy, including the rapture of the church, the 7-year tribulation, the reconstruction of the Jewish temple, and the rise of the Antichrist. While he emphasizes that exact dates cannot be determined, he believes these signs serve as a wake-up call, urging believers to prepare for the second coming of Christ. He draws a parallel between the Revelation 12 sign and the Genesis account of Joseph, who experienced 7 years of abundance followed by 7 years of famine. Breaker speculates that the years following 2017 might symbolize a period of prosperity, especially for Israel, with the tribulation possibly beginning in 2024 or 2025. However, he is careful to clarify that he is not predicting dates but observing patterns that align with biblical prophecy. The role of historical and celestial connections. Breaker reflects on the intricate connections between celestial phenomena and biblical prophecy. He notes that the 2017 solar eclipse, which passed over Salem, Oregon, may have symbolic significance. He ties the name Salem to Jerusalem and observes that the eclipse's 70-mile-wide path might connect to Daniel's prophecy of 70 weeks. Breaker also highlights Donald Trump's potential role in these prophetic events. He points out that Trump was 70 years, 7 months, and 7 days old when he took office and that he was born during an eclipse. Breaker suggests that, like King Cyrus in the Bible, Trump might have been used by God for a divine purpose, particularly regarding his recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital. Draco and the Revelation 12 dragon. Breaker delves into the imagery of the dragon in Revelation 12:3-4, which describes a red dragon sweeping a third of the stars from the sky. He links this to the constellation Draco, often associated with a dragon, which has 10 stars visible to the naked eye, potentially corresponding to the 10 horns mentioned in the prophecy. Moreover, Draco's path in the night sky appears to cover roughly 1/3 of the visible stars, adding to the intrigue. Petra as a place of refuge. In Revelation 12:6, the woman is described as escaping into the wilderness for 1,260 days. Breaker connects this to Petra in Jordan, a site often believed to serve as a refuge for the Jewish people during the tribulation. The geographical features of Petra, including its narrow gorges for defense and advanced water systems carved into the rock, make it an ideal hiding place. Encouragement for believers. Breaker encourages believers to take the Bible literally, emphasizing how God's supernatural plans often align with tangible realities. He stresses that even as challenging times approach, they are signs of Christ's imminent return. He urges Christians to stay connected to Scripture, study prophecy diligently, and boldly share the gospel as time is running out. This message serves as both a call to vigilance and a reminder of the hope found in God's promises, urging believers to prepare for the fulfillment of biblical prophecy.